To this now, the Africa Investment Forum is coming to the Sandton Convention Centre on Monday. It's aimed at creating investment partnerships between African governments and the private sector. I'm joined now live by Aviwe Mtila. Aviwe, many people saying talk shops, talk shops, talk shops, but it really is important to get the right people in the room as South Africa continues to try and pull its economy out of the doldrums.
Certainly, Marcel, you might even walk past some of these rooms here at the Sandton Convention Centre, but I tell you this very moment, deals that are worth billions of dollars are essentially being made this very moment. The target here at this Africa Investment Summit is to get in investments of worth $67 billion. We do understand that 59 deals, in fact, have been concluded so far and need to be basically put pen to paper. I am joined by the Minister of Tourism here just to detail some of the targets that the South African delegate has here. Thank you for joining us, Minister. But we do understand we just come from another summit here where we garnered 363 billion rands. The target here is 67 billion US dollars. How much of it does South Africa plan to get?
This year's target is 10 billion US dollars for South Africa, and we're hoping that we'll be able to close that as part of contributing towards the broader target of all investment in the country from everywhere, both from the continent and also internationally.
Now, Minister, you mentioned 10 billion US dollars from that 67 that the investment forum targets. Where is this investment going to go to?
It has to go to various areas. It goes into infrastructure. It goes into building of, you look at the roads projects. What we have done as South African government, for example, we've created pipelines, project pipelines, where we are looking for investors. You would note that, for example, we've got SCZs that exist in the country that we are looking for investors to go and invest in those localities. Either it's in Makhado, whether it's in Gauteng or in KwaZulu-Natal or in the Eastern Cape. Broadly, we are providing across the country various areas and various projects that are available, that are ready for investment to come in, for the investors who are looking into investing into that. The second issue that we think is very critical, it partnering between investors and SMMEs, innovators, who have ideas but do not have the capital to run their ideas. That's part of what we provide as platforms to link those, both the investor and the innovator, to be able to create a wonderful experience and what will be sustainable for us as a country.
Now, movement has been a critical issue in the African continent, free trade movement. I'd imagine in tourism it's another critical issue, a challenge in fact. What are you hoping for as the tourism sector?
Definitely, what has to accompany the free trade agreement that has been signed in terms of trade has to be free movement, because the people who are trading across countries on the continent will have to be able to move. So all of us as countries have to make sure that we have the level of standards that are upgraded, where people are able to move in terms of either it's transport, in terms of immigration offices and all those things. Some of the people are challenging us as ministers and government to say, are you not going to look at even free movement where people don't need visas, people don't need passports across the continent? Those are the discussions we'll have to have for the long term. But for now, we are saying these are the conversations that we have. We are cognizant of what is being raised with us. We are not yet there, but the support for the free trade agreement will have to come in. But for us as the tourism, we understand that once this happens, with the free trade having been signed and the movement in terms of hosting of the conferences and deals being made, people are moving and contributing to the jobs as part of their tourism activities.
Thank you, Minister. That was the Tourism Minister here in South Africa, Kubai Ngubane, basically saying that the South African delegate in this Africa Investment Forum is targeting at least 10 million US dollars. That is an additional nearly 150 million added on to that 363 million dollars that the President, in fact, canvassed for last week at the summit that was literally just wrapped up almost 2 working days ago.